Welcome back, everybody. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I'm a little bit late. It has been a day. A day. Thankfully, it is almost over and I get to do it with you guys. So, welcome. It is August 19th and the BS is so rich, Goop is selling it as a supplement. Today, we've got Princess Diana's brother just got a massive cash injection. And not just from selling his Diana memories. Meghan Markle flew solo to that elite Montecito dinner. Yes, the one that Martha Stewart blabbed about. And I met up with someone who was actually there, and it is good. Oh, my God. Plus, Gwyneth Paltrow is hosting a fancy Hamptons dinner for, I don't know, the Lex Luthor of the internet, Sam Altman. The Goop Queen and the AI Overlord together at last, and I will explain why the internet is dry heaving as I speak. The horrifying Hollywood machine behind Hayden Panettiere's injuries from zebra riding, yes, you heard that correctly, zebra riding, and Blake Lively wants us all to, and I quote, be kind. I know. I'll wait for you to stop laughing. Blake Lively. Be kind. All right, pour something strong and let's go, shall we? All right, so first up we have the Earl of Liquidation. Yesterday we talked about how Earl Spencer was selling his Diana memories in Swan Song, and today the man is actually selling the dirt. Charles Spencer has offloaded 310 acres of farmland next to Althorp, Diana's childhood home and final resting place, to a housing developer, Persimmon Homes, for £60 million. That's $80 million to you Americans. Yeah. And his excuse? Garbage. Literally. So, according to Hello Magazine, the Earl says the land had become a dumping ground. We're talking truckloads of construction waste tipped in the middle of the night, asbestos rotting in the hedges, and at one point, 60 burned out cars stacked on the pasture. I mean, it kind of sounds like an art installation, but moving on. The final straw for him was a historic farmhouse on the property allegedly got torched and had to be demolished. So the official story is fly tippers made me do it. And by the way, made me sell it to housing developers who will now ask people to live on supposedly asbestos-ridden land. Yay! I mean, this is a man who just had to settle a nasty, expensive divorce, his third, because Earl Spencer is nothing if not an optimist when it comes to love. And he is simultaneously cashing in on a tell-all about the sister he famously wouldn't give a house to when she was alive and begging. So, tell-all book, that's got to be a couple million, at least. A $80 million land sale and divorce money settlement, plus more money for his wife. Well, you can see why he's in need of a cash infusion, because you know that new wife ain't going to settle for nothing cheap. The family says the money is being reinvested in the estate. Okay, all right, sure. I mean, just like Invictus is only Harry's philanthropy. You know, I'm not his biggest fan. And by that, I mean Earl Spencer or Harry's. But next up, Meghan, Martha, and the table that talked. The main event. And if you've been living under a rock, let me catch you up on the Martha, Meghan kerfluffle. Because it is a 3-act play. Act 1, Martha, who is 85, invented the entire lifestyle guru industry, did federal time, came out even more iconic, and gives a big People cover magazine interview. And out of nowhere, she volunteers. She was at a California dinner party with Meghan Markle, who had, per Martha, just gotten back from the palace and was talking about the big royal reunion at the table, which is, you know, it's kind of a dirty bomb she kind of let loose on People magazine. Because Of course, we all know that HIGHGROVE meeting with King Charles was kept private. There were no photos, there were no details. It was like a nuclear code event, and here's Meghan allegedly talking about it over appetizers and drinks in the garden. Then, of course, not done. Martha gets asked about Meghan's lifestyle show and delivers the politest execution in recorded history, saying, well, you know, she went from actress to a princess to a homemaking guru, and it doesn't sort of follow. Oh, she's so gangster. She's literally the diva of my heart. All right, so Act 2. A source at the party who claims they sat right next to Meghan runs back to People magazine and says Martha's account is simply untrue. Per the host, Meghan barely mentioned the trip, just said the family had a nice time in Europe. And then the source suggested Martha was confused, which, of course, as you know, gagged me. I mean, Martha, who remembers every canapé she's served since 1987, is confused. Girl, I don't think so. Act 3, Martha doubles down, and her camp's position is basically, why would she make it up? And honestly, she wouldn't. She's 85. She's a billionaire. And a full-on icon. She has no filter left and nothing to lose. And that's kind of what makes her dangerous to people like Meghan, who are just desperate, or, as we all know, thirsty. Yeah, Doug agrees with me. He's squeaking in the background again. All right, so here's to the new stuff. This is amazing. I met up with someone who was at that party. So get this. The party was held at Ellen DeGeneres' old Montecito estate. All right. Ellen's not living there anymore, but she's renting it out. And now, of course, Ellen and Meghan were close. Who knows what the hell they are now, because nobody's really close with anybody when it comes to Meghan anymore, does it? But anyway, Ellen fled to the Cotswolds, came back, bought another house, and is currently renting this house to a talent manager who had a dinner party. Now, other interesting news, Harry was not there. Meghan flew solo again. Although, of course, Harry always comes up because she's giving misses and always likes to talk about H. So the funniest thing is, most of these people have met Harry in the last, 6, 8 years? They've all met him. And other parties, whatnot. Certainly not out on the street, because you know he don't leave the house. But the word that people use at that party, of course, behind Meghan's back, was uncomplicated. He's so uncomplicated. And to be clear, uncomplicated is the most devastating compliment in the English language and is basically Hollywood speak for, bless his heart, he's dull and dumb. Now, as for Meghan, the room's read was, and I quote, very Californian, which, coming from a room full of Californians, is like being called a very cruise ship by people on the cruise ship, if you know what I mean. And by Californian, I don't want to piss any of y'all off in Bakersfield or San Diego or whatnot. So by Californian, we mean Montecito, Mumbo Jumbo speak, LABS, all right? And so my friend also said that people are really just confused. And these are people in Montecito, her neighbors. People are just confused about who the hell Meghan actually is. That there's, and this is another quote, there's nothing original there. And one person even sniffed that she's not that striking in person. Now, I'm not going to get into the physicality, you know, because Lord knows a lot of people don't like the way I look, and that is fine. Bring it on. I'm fine with myself. And she seems okay with herself too. Great. However, the vibe about Meghan is, and this is another quote, it's all confusing. which I'm just glad they're not the only ones confused when it comes to Meghan. I mean, hell, I think we all are. We don't know who she is from one day to the next. Damn. Who's she cosplaying today? I don't know. It was somebody different yesterday. It's all kind of crazy. But anyway, I thought you guys would appreciate the little gossip from her actual neighbors. Now, they did not say anything about what Martha said. This person was not near that. They weren't going into it, which is smart. Never mess with Martha. It's kind of like, don't let my name fall out your mouth. That's pretty much how people feel about how Martha feels about everyone. And everyone's like, no, she's a goddess. We'll move on. So there is that. All right, next up, we've got this weirdo beardo story. Gwyneth Paltrow is hosting the Robot King, and now the collision of brands nobody asked for. So Gwyneth Paltrow, we all know her as the woman who sold you a $75 candle that smells like her vagina, is hosting an alfresco dinner at her Amagansett home in the Hamptons in honor of Sam Altman, the OpenAI guy, the ChatGPT guy, RSVPs go to, and I am not kidding because I have got the invitation right here. RSVPs are to go to events at goop.com. So a tech policy guy named Zach Kukoff posted the invite on X, which is where I got it, calling Gwyneth the apex predator of taste. I love it. So basically, the apex predator of taste is hosting the apex predator of your job, your data, and your kids' homework. It's just a whole shark dinner. Now, here's why the internet is dry heaving, because roughly everyone hates Sam Altman. I'm gonna put his stuff back up. Hold on, here we go. Everyone hates this guy. And they all have their own reasons. I mean, the man has a truly bipartisan hater base, all right? That is hard to do. You got to give him credit. I mean, his own board fired him in 2023, saying he wasn't straight with them. But obviously, he was back in the chair in 5 days, and other people were ousted. Artists and writers hate him because OpenAI trained on the entire creative output of humanity, and the compensation plan was, and I am not kidding here, vibes. I mean, the lawsuits are vibing their own genre right now, but then we also have Scarlett Johansson, who had to lawyer up because ChatGPT rolled out a voice that sounded suspiciously like her after she had said no twice. OpenAI started as a nonprofit for humanity and has been contorting itself into a for-profit money furnace ever since. It's nuts. Oh my gosh, by the way, thank you, Virginia. I appreciate you. You guys, hold on. So I can't read out stuff during the show, but the colors get my eyeball attention. So thanks, Virginia. I appreciate you. And Harry and Meghan are not moving to California just yet, you guys. Their kids are enrolled in Montecito, okay? This is not happening just yet. Do I think it will happen? Probably. We shall move on. Going back to Sam Altman. So the reason why regular people hate Sam and the AI slop flooding every feed and your job is the next energy and the data centers, drinking rivers, eating power grids, while Sam cheerfully says the future requires spending trillions on so much more of them. He's coming for our job. He's coming for our land. That's amazing. And he's musing about brain chips and maybe buying Google Chrome. I mean, this dude is the ultimate Bond villain. So why is this dinner so insane? Because Goop's entire brand is supposedly the anti-AI, right? Like Goop is artisanal and it's hand harvested. A human woman, Gwyneth, whispering to your adrenal glands, and it sells like it is the equivalent of like $200 of moon dust, while Sam's product is the machine generating 6-fingered moon dust JPEGs. She built her empire on taste, and he built an empire on a machine that has none and steals all of our work. It's a lot. It's a lot. And so why is this happening? Well, I like to say follow the money, because of course there's an actual connection here. Gwyneth is naturally an early OpenAI investor. She said it herself on her own podcast with Kara Swisher in May. She invested pretty early. Isn't that lucky how rich, famous people get to invest pretty early, and how, like, I don't know, 10 grand all of a sudden turns into 10 billion? Don't you wish we were on that freaking train? Because I do. Meanwhile, Gwyneth thinks the company has great legs. Thinks Sam has a chance to do the right thing. Sam has a chance to do the right thing. I mean, I'm going to lay down a $3 bill. He ain't going to do it. And basically, Gwyneth is, once again, do as I say, not as I do, and watch me make even more money with my rich dinner, with my rich friend. Let's have a dinner. Screw you little people who will soon be out of a job. Thanks, Gwyneth. I'm going to need to go smell a candle that don't smell like her veg, if you know what I mean. I miss those 2 weeks in college. And that's okay. You know. All right, on to the machine that broke Hayden at 14. So yesterday, I covered the human filth surrounding Hayden Panettiere at the end, a.k.a. her on-again, off-again boyfriend and his brother, and the drugs, and that shitty interview he gave where he was just kind of out of his mind, right? And he was like smiling, like, yeah, I did it. Like, okay, I took that candy bar. No, honey, you beat the crap out of Hayden. So today we're going back to where some of the physical damage started, because in the last couple months she has been seen walking around on crutches, and it started on a movie set when she was 14. So according to page 6, her decades-old injuries from a 2005 on-set accident were still bothering her just months before her apparent overdose. So in her memoir, This Is Me, A Reckoning, which came out in May, just months before she died, she revealed she was thrown from a zebra while performing a stunt for the movie Racing Stripes. A zebra. When she was 14, she damaged 2 vertebrae in her neck, had a concussion, severe whiplash. And what did a 14-year-old child do after that? Well, she wrote that she kept her mouth shut and endured the pain, because that's what this shitty Hollywood machine teaches child actors. The show goes on. Don't be difficult. Don't cost anyone money. And she wrote that over 20 years later, those injuries still bothered her. And this is the part that should make you as sick as me. She said her opioid use increased when that old neck injury flared up. So let's connect those dots, shall we? The industry won't. I'm going to do it for you. A child got hurt on set, was conditioned to stay silent, carried that pain for 2 decades, and it fed the addiction that ended her life at 36. And I got questions. Why was a 14-year-old on a zebra? Just off the top of my head. I mean, a zebra is not a pony with a paint job. It is a wild animal. Trainers will tell you zebras are famously not rideable. That's literally the whole joke about zebras. Why was she doing a stunt at all? She was 14. Where was the stunt double? That is the exact job of a stunt double. Where was her mother? Oh, right. We talked about her momager yesterday, giving interviews about how Hayden lost her way. I mean, Hayden didn't lose her way. She was put on a wild animal at 14 while the adults collected her checks and cashed them and paid their bills off her back? Where was children's services? Where was the studio teacher? Where was anyone whose literal job was to say the word no? Why did producers allow this? Because a child on the animal was cheaper than a production delay. And it's disgusting. So Hollywood, as we know, as we've seen way too often this year alone, loves a posthumous tribute. What it doesn't love is protecting the kids while they're alive to benefit from it. So I just want to say, R.I.P. Hayden, you deserve better than every single adult in that story and in your life. So again, for more on how being a child star ruined your life, go watch my interview with Dr. Leslie Dobson on News Nation. The link will be in the bio. I am so mad. Hold on. Here we go. Kim, thank you. You are my queen. I appreciate you. So, speaking of people hopping on the old Hayden RIP bandwagon, we got this fool. Blake Lively says, be kind. I mean, really, she said it. From that genuinely heartbreaking story to the woman who found a way to make it about, hold on, who? Herself. Blake Lively posted a tribute on her Instagram stories to Hayden and Michelle Trachtenberg, two former child stars who departed our world just 18 months apart and who shared the screen in Ice Princess back in 2005. Oh, wait, hold on. Thanks, Bunny Bunny. I appreciate you. And Kim. I appreciate all of you, but thanks, guys. So Michelle, of course, was also Blake's Gossip Girl castmate. So I don't know why Blake is lopping. She's just throwing it in. So Blake shared a montage of Ice Princess clips with the message, be kind. You never know what others are going through. I mean, come on, man. It's be kind from Blake Lively. The woman fresh off the messiest legal war in modern Hollywood that she started, BT Dumps, the Eds With Us saga, a scorched earth battle of lawsuits, alleged smear campaigns, leaked texts and out-of-control PR operatives, and the woman for whom Justin Baldoni had a highlight reel of receipts, the Grab Your Florals press tour for a movie about domestic violence, the resurfaced interview clips that had journalists comparing trauma notes, the plantation wedding we do not have time to unpack today. You name it. All the nasty emails that she and her husband sent to their agents to get Justin fired, sent to their powerful Hollywood friends so that they would basically blackball Justin. Of course, there was a whole Taylor Swift crap. You name it. We could go on, but I ain't got the time. And also, frankly, you guys know what happened. So when that person posts be kind over a montage the day after a shocking death, forgive me if I read it less as grief and more as a attempted personal brand rehab. I mean, once again, making everything about herself. I mean, of course she does. I mean, is the Pope Catholic? Does Gwyneth sell veg-smelling candles? I mean, come on, Blake, knock it the F off. I mean, sometimes the best thing to do is just send a private text to the family and make a private donation, not storyboarding it out in your own branding font. It's that girl, man, she got balls with a Z and cannot read the room for the life of her. I mean, thank God. All right. Well, that is the BS for today. Of course, I've got a palate cleanser. It's my little guy snoring again after, he plays for a bit when he gets agitated. He hears me say Megan's name. He's like, squeak, squeak, off the Megan squeaker and then passes out. So this is him playing for realsy.
Guys are such gooseberries.
It's literally with the only friend he's made. Okay, no, he's made two. Yes, he squeaks like a toy as well. That's my boy. He's a live squeaker. I love him so much. What can I say? Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. Now listen, hit the like, hit the subscribe, share this with your pals. And I'm going to be back tomorrow at 5:30. But listen, I'm going to start doing it not live. I'm just going to be posting every day regularly at 5:30. And that way you can hit the hype. And also, I can be in the comments with you so we can chitty chat together. All right. Thanks again, you guys. I appreciate you. Have an awesome evening. Mwah!